In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we visit the new athletic field at Falmouth High School for the ribbon-cutting ceremony, stop by an old-fashioned family carnival at Marine Park, and learn about some of the many nonprofit organizations that benefited from this year's Falmouth Road Race. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. On August 27th, Falmouth Public School staff celebrated not only the start of the 2019-2020 school year, but also the official opening of the Falmouth High School multipurpose field. With many student athletes, marching band, and town dignitaries on hand, it was standing room only for the historic occasion.
On April 24, 2012, a working group was formed to discuss the need for a multi-purpose field at Falmouth High School. On September 26, 2014, the school committee voted to enthusiastically and wholeheartedly support the citizens group for the field. On April 10, 2018, Article 18 was passed at town meeting to appropriate funds for the purpose of an all-purpose athletic field at Falmouth High School. Today, August 27th, 2019, 4 superintendents later, I would like to celebrate the completion of the Falmouth High School all-purpose field.
This extraordinary project has represented a partnership between the town and the school department, resulting in a state-of-the-art athletic field complex to serve the primary recreational needs of the Falmouth schools as well as the Falmouth recreational community.
Never played on turf. Played on some beautiful grass fields, played on some not so good grass fields, and played in a couple mud bowls. Probably more bun bowls than I've ever thought anybody could play on. So when I came here this morning, and I've been up here a few times looking at the turf, I walked around a little bit, kid in the candy store, the ex-football coach, the ex-football player, walking around. I felt like Les Miles, and some of you people will appreciate that and follow football, that I wanted to actually reach down, pick up a blade of grass, and put it in my mouth. I thought, this is really neat. This is a special day for Falmouth. This is a special day for everybody involved with the task at hand, and that was getting this complex going. From the committee, who did, I think, a remarkable job of looking at every aspect of what this could be, and all the concerns about what could occur with athletes. Everything was done, I think, prime time, efficiently, effectively, a tremendous experience by everybody involved. Obviously, the administration, the field committee, the school committee, the selectmen, the community, the town meeting members, giving us the ability to put it on the ballot, and obviously the voters. Outstanding efforts by many people. The bottom line, it is built for students. It is built for athletes. It is built for the band. It is built for anybody in the community who wants to use this. This is a community endeavor. I think everybody's going to appreciate this. Enjoy your experience. This is your turf, this is your house, this is your teams, this is your stadium.
As the saying goes, all good things really are worth waiting for. With that, I will close with the last 3 lines of the Falmouth High School school song, which aptly summarizes the blood, sweat, tears, and years that have gone into making this field a reality. Here's to their performance, never say die, bring home a victory to Falmouth High. Go Clippers!
The Clipper football, boys and girls soccer, boys and girls lacrosse, and field hockey teams will all call the new field home this season. Thanks to Ryan Weber for that coverage. It's time now for 3 things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
Town leaders are taking action and gaining information about how to best cover Falmouth with emergency fire services. A consultant was hired recently to aid the town in suggestions on how to move forward with best serving the citizens of Falmouth with fire rescue efforts. The selectmen had a discussion on a proposed consolidated northwest fire station that would potentially combine the current north and west stations.
As the board's aware, we've engaged the consultant that has been funded by town meeting to undertake that analysis for locations, potential locations for the merged service provided by a Northwest Falmouth Fire Station as proposed that would merge the functions of both the existing north and west fire station.
Were you suggesting that there'd be an article in November?
That would be my hope, an article that would allow this town manager to option property,
Right.
working with the Board of Selectmen, that would be determined to be most appropriate as a potential station location.
So we would put a placeholder in, and then the details would come together over September and October.
Correct.
Representatives from the Solid Waste Advisory Committee spoke with the selectmen about the town's efforts in educating the public on trash and recycling best practices. The committee was concerned over the lack of action the town has taken in the education process of solid waste and asked them to take steps in this effort in the near future.
This committee has collected information about all kinds of communities and what they're doing, whether it's a place such as Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard close by.
So there are models in place. I know there's a similar kind of system over in Connecticut and some of the municipalities. So we should be able to reach out to them and find out how they keep these entities going, because obviously they got to break even or they got to be subsidized. But we should be able to find places that successfully do the composting of food materials.
And I think the idea is, part of what and again, it's a budget issue, and it's an issue that town meeting will look at. But, if somebody has this as if somebody is even part-time focused on solid waste, that's something that they can be proactive. They can look at lots of options. It's I think, challenging for, it's hard enough to maintain what we have, never mind looking at some radical changes for, say, Peter McConerty, who this is, really falls under his list of many, many things that he's responsible for.
Representatives from the Tea Room in North Falmouth came before the Board of Selectmen at their last meeting seeking a seasonal all-alcoholic liquor license for their restaurant. Many from the neighborhood came to speak both in favor and against such a license for the establishment. The Selectmen had concerns about the plans not showing enough information for them to approve the license. Instead of being denied, the Tea Room opted to withdraw the application for the time being without prejudice.
Anyway, it says outside seating. Outside that fence, there are lots of seats and picnic tables that people were eating at, which I don't think is part of your license, Dave. At least when I'm looking at your common victual license, that's not where eating is supposed to be occurring.
I honestly feel like we really should have a plan that shows where the kids get served and where the adults get served, if it's going to be two different things. I just don't feel like I really completely understand what it is you're going to do there.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. We turn now to this month's calendar segment. On Tuesday, September 10th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Fairwinds Off-Season Job Fair will be held at the Fairwinds Clubhouse. Several local employees will be in attendance. The annual Soldier Ride to support the Wounded Warrior Project will take place on September 12th from 9:30 a.m. to noon on the Shining Sea Bikeway. FCTV will be cheering on the bikers from the crossing at Chappaquoit Road. On September 28th, celebrate the closing of the striped bass fishing season at the annual Striper Fest at Marine Park from noon to 6:30 p.m. The event features live music, delicious food, and games and attractions for the whole family. Here at the Falmouth Community Media Center, FCTV will be hosting our second open mic night on Thursday, September 26th at 7:30 p.m. Sign-up begins at 6:45 p.m. for participants interested in sharing their original poetry, story, comedy, spoken word, or acoustic solo performance in a 5-minute time slot. We plan to make this a monthly event. And finally, stop by the gallery at FCTV to view works by the Monday Morning Painters. Their work will be on display until October 2nd. We're going to take a quick break to look at an adoptable cat from People for Cats. And when we return, we'll stop by an old-fashioned family carnival at Marine Park. Stay with us.
Romeo is a handsome brown tabby domestic short-hair male. This 3-year-old has a brown tabby coat with black tiger stripes, a white chin, bib and paws, and expressive amber-colored eyes. He's a mite shy, but is a very sweet boy who lives up to his name of being a love bug. Romeo came to PFC when his previous owner could not care for their pets. He has been well loved and would make someone an excellent companion kitty. Why not come in to meet this handsome fellow and see if he'd fit in with your family? For more information, call 508-540-5654 or visit peopleforcats.org.
Welcome back. Wings for Falmouth Families provides financial assistance to families who have minor children who are going through a medical crisis or tragic event. The organization threw an old-fashioned carnival as their year-end summer outreach event, and FCTV was there to capture the fun.
I think we've really been wanting to focus events on families and children since that is our mission. We've done a lot of really great sponsorship events and donor events to generate funds, but we really just wanted to get out in the community, let people know that we're here in a fun, creative way that would bring a lot of people around. So. We have a lot of people on our board who work with children or have kids of their own, and so this is all very much like a backyard, old-time carnival theme where we're doing face painting and balloon characters, a bouncy house obstacle course, tug-of-war, any type of game you can imagine, we've got it here. Plus, our sister Spin, Officer Cheryl, is here having a good time.
You guys ready? Yeah. Ready? Go!
Well, one, I want people to know that there is no stigma or stereotype with our aid families. We really want any and everyone who may have had some type of tragedy in their life or are facing a medical condition or illness to contact us, because we're here. We want to provide financial aid to families so they know that their community cares for them. And so we do urge people to apply, because sometimes they don't want to, or they're embarrassed, and we really don't want that to be the case in our community. We are still doing so much in the community through our donors and sponsors that we're still giving about $30,000 of aid every single year, and we want to give out more. We go through seasons of times where people we don't have any aid applicants, and we want to give it out because we know that there's needs out there, and so we would love for people just to feel comfortable to reach out to us. On behalf of the Board of Directors and Wings for Falmouth Families, we would just love to thank every single person or business who has ever donated or supported us in any way over the past 16 years. We wouldn't be here without your support, so thank you.
Since 2003, Wings for Falmouth Families has helped more than 85 families, providing more than $250,000 in financial assistance. For more information on Wings for Falmouth Families, visit their website at wingsofFalmouth.org. Thanks to Bob Fenstermaker for that piece. The Wacoit Congregational Church hosted a Safe Plates dinner last week to benefit the AIDS Support Group of Cape Cod. Diners feasted on fare prepared by the owners of the Buffalo Jump and the Pecker Dirt Farm Bakery.
We are at Wacoit Congregational Church this evening for Safe Plates. It's the third Safe Plates event that's being held here, and tonight it's in support of the AIDS Support Group of Cape Cod. They're opening a new facility in Falmouth and also opening a mobile clinic. And tonight we wanted to show them how welcome they are in our community and support the efforts and the hard work that their team does by bringing the community together with food and wonderful people.
This is our third Safe Plates. We are so thrilled that once again we have the awesome chefs, Lauren Higgins-Balsley and her husband Brandon, and then Annie Connors-Higgins with the Pecker Dirt Farm. This is run by volunteers, not only from our congregation, Wacoit Congregational Church, but the Falmouth Jewish Congregation, No Place for Hate, Falmouth, just people from all over town. And in about 5 minutes, you're going to see the crowd coming through for good food, community, and a fabulous cause.
At the Buffalo Jump, we strive to have, seasonal ingredients and really dishes that complement the event or what is happening at the farm. So right now at the church, it's the end of the summer, so we have a lot of fresh ingredients, summer salad, a watermelon, tomato, and cucumber salad, as well as herb chicken, all these beautiful basils and mints and dills from the farm. And we also have a cold rice salad, one of my mom's favorite dishes that she's made for years, and baked beans. You can't go wrong with baked beans.
The beans in particular are delicious, like such wonderful flavors, and it's nice when you go somewhere and they have great vegetarian food and vegan so that everybody can really enjoy it.
We do this because we're here for the community and we want the community to get together and eat and enjoy each other and support one another and really build each other up rather than break each other down.
It's spicy, but not too, just it's fresh. It anoints your taste buds. It's absolutely delicious.
This is just one piece of the overall recovery puzzle that we're putting together here in Falmouth, getting people who are addicts, getting them help. The most important thing is to get people into recovery. So we're really excited, and this is what the best that Falmouth has to offer. Just wonderful people helping each other and helping our neighbors.
The AIDS Support Group of Cape Cod saves lives through prevention, education, and life-sustaining services that address public health crisis to build healthy communities across the Cape and Islands. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. The New Balance Falmouth Road Race is always a successful fundraiser for many local charities through the Numbers for Nonprofits program, and FCTV was at the starting line to talk with a few of the runners about their participation in the program.
Hi, my name is Tony Didario, and I'm running for Gosnell. And in honor of my son, Brendan Didario, who went to Gosnell and passed away 3.5 years ago. And we have a team of runners that raised money. This year we raised $22,000. And in 4 years we've raised over $65,000 to help people get into Gosnell who can't afford it. And so we've had a scholarship set up, the Brendan Didario Scholarship Fund, and we raise money and we help people.
Hi, I'm John Bassi. I'm a Pittsfield police officer, and I'm running today for Special Olympics Massachusetts. And this is Danny McLaughlin. He's a Special Olympic athlete who's going to be running with our team today.
Yep, I'm running for Special Olympics also, because I've been doing it for 9 to 10 years. I do track and field, I do basketball, I've done soccer, and it's just taught me a lot. I've done a lot of 5K races and 3,000 meter dashes, so I think a lot of that motivated me and got me in better shape as a result. So yeah, that was basically, it improved my skills a lot over the years.
Sure, the Sturge Weber Foundation was founded 25 years ago by two parents who had a child with this rare diagnosis that no one had ever heard of. So they started a foundation that now supports 4,000 families internationally. It's a rare disease, so there's not a lot of funding and research out there, and so we're here to try to change that. We have 78 runners running for the Sturge Weber Foundation, and this is our 10th and final year, and we have raised over 10 years a cumulative $1 million for this foundation.
Well, this is Team Never Give Up, running for Compassionate Care ALS, which is actually located here in East Falmouth. And they helped take care of our grandfather when he was fighting ALS. And he passed in 2014, and they were there with us spiritually, emotionally, physically, every step of the way.
So our charity supports families on the South Shore of Massachusetts who have been affected by unforeseen accident, illness, or tragedy. And we also have a campaign that launches today, and that is our Go Wicked Gold for Childhood Cancer Awareness campaign. We fundraise during the month of September to assist families on the South Shore who have been affected by childhood cancer, and also fundraise for childhood cancer research studies. So this is a month-long campaign, and we are looking to emulate what Susan G. Komen has done for breast cancer in October with the color pink. Gold is the official color of childhood cancer, and September is the National Month for Childhood Cancer Awareness. So today we have 35 runners running the Falmouth Road Race to kick off our Go Wicked Gold campaign.
The Numbers for Nonprofits program is still tallying up the numbers from this year's event, but last year it raised almost $5 million for local nonprofit organizations. Thanks to Adam Quigg for that report. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll check out some more news from this year's Falmouth Road Race. Stay with us.
Did you know that YMCA Cape Cod and Falmouth Aquatics are working together? We share a vision of a new YMCA facility here in Falmouth. Working together, we'll have a greater mission impact and change lives for the better. We envision key programs and services, such as teaching kids to be safe in and around the water, helping people lead healthier lives, and creating high-quality programs that serve, engage, and motivate our community.
Did you know we are now operating several Y programs without walls in Falmouth with great success? We've been collaborating with the Falmouth community for over 5 years. We offer before and after school programs, early childhood learning and preschool programs, summer camps and vacation programs, and food programs for hungry children. No one is turned away from the YMCA due to an inability to pay.
How do we create the facility that will be the platform for these and future programs? We are working together on our combined facility design for a $13 to $15 million project and finding a location here in Falmouth.
Do you know there's a lot more planning before a shovel goes in the ground? The Falmouth Wants a Y Volunteer Committee works tirelessly to raise every dollar needed for studies. Volunteers are actively raising money for our capital campaign consultants, where we need $75,000. We're also recruiting volunteer leadership for our capital campaign. We want to work with energized people to pull this YMCA into the community. If you want to learn more about Falmouth Wants a Y for the Upper Cape, visit our website or give me a call.
Welcome back. The New Balance Falmouth Road Race reached a historic milestone this year, marking 45 years of one of the oldest road races with a wheelchair division. We checked in with this year's winners at the finish line to see what this race means to them.
Well, this is a very historic race, very beautiful as well. I unfortunately don't get to sightsee during the race, Actually, that's one of the things I learned about this race is I didn't realize quite that it had the history that it does. Starting with Bob Hall and being pretty much one of the first non-marathon road races to have a wheelchair division. It's incredible to be a part of this race.
This race has come such a long way for us, and it's come such a great parallel to the sport as well, and pushing equality for the sport, and it's become a lot bigger. So it is something special to be part of it. I mean, to have racers before me like Candace, who's broken the course record. I mean, it took us like 20 years to finally break it. So it's just amazing, the history behind it, and it's fun. We have a lot of support from Boston, which is amazing, and it keeps us pushing forward. And I love coming back. This race has always been special to me. I have family here, and I love it. It's a great course to test a lot of things for me. My climbing, my descending, my turning. It's kind of quick and dirty, right? 7 miles, and it's really, really tough. And so I enjoy that. I love learning everything. So I know I'm doing everything right with a fast day today.
One of my first, really my first memory from Falmouth, my first year here was, meeting Krieger Schabort and watching him change his tire in his chair in, somewhere around half a minute, and just to see that sort of the dedication that he had put into racing, and just that he's always been open to helping me. I ask him, I have a problem with whatever, my chair is doing this and I have no clue what's going on. He's always just try this, and if that doesn't work, try another thing. So he's just been an incredible help.
Yeah, Falmouth is definitely something special. I mean, my grandparents met here, and so we have a lot of family history here. I think that's another reason that it's so special. I mean, family keeps me driven in this sport. They've been supportive from day one of my dreams. And coming to Falmouth, it's a great course. I mean, it's a little intimidating because it's fast and it's challenging. You get the uphills, you get the descents, and it's a perfect course to train on and to really try to hit really fast times to kind of test your body, and great support from the community. It's just amazing, and it's awesome. I think for anyone, especially for us, it's really important to be a mentor to the younger generation to make sure that it continues, the legacy continues. So I know little Maddie is out there on the course now, and she's 10, and she's done this course when she was like 4 years old. So it's nice to see, especially for the women, the younger generation come up. Because we have a problem on the women's side, not getting enough coming up, so it's nice to see.
The future of the sport certainly looks bright, as both Daniel and Tatiana set new course records this year. Thanks to Alan Russell for that coverage. Faith-based groups from across Falmouth came together last week to benefit migrant families who are waiting to legally cross our southern border. St. Barnabas Episcopal Church was the host of this community picnic fundraiser, and FCTV spoke with one of the event's organizers.
We have a wonderful outreach committee at the Church of the Messiah in Woods Hole. And we have all become so concerned over the last year about the way migrants are being treated at the border. We were particularly concerned about the separation of families. And when we investigated, we found that there was nothing that we could do to help people in detention centers. They won't accept any outside help. So we looked for other ways that we could help, and we found that there are wonderful organizations down on the border who are providing food to people who are now being kept waiting to legally enter the United States, trying to make them wait as long as possible so they'll give up and go home. And we thought that maybe we could help them in some way. And when we asked our friends at the other churches, we found that they felt exactly the way we do, that they wanted to help.
Actually, a colleague of mine from the Church of the Messiah, Carol Casey, called me up and said, Nell, we have to do something about the children. And I said, absolutely. And so she got together with other faith communities. There's the Falmouth Jewish congregation here, the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, of course, Becoit Congregational Church, First Church Falmouth, and Church of the Messiah, and St. Barnabas.
I started to worry myself about this on Monday night, and then I thought, what am I worried about? These are terrific people. I don't have to do anything except be here, and it's worked out that way. It's been absolutely wonderful. They're wonderful partners, and the representatives from the First Congregational Church came over and said, they wanted to stand up and be counted with us. So we're really very fortunate that we all feel that.
I'll tell you something, whenever we hold something like this, Falmouth is so wonderful. The community shows up. We were a little concerned about the weather, but St. Barnabas opened their parish hall for us, and wow, it's really a great turnout.
We all share the same values, and we think the United States stands for these values. We don't have to treat people without compassion and in a cruel way. We may not be able to accept everyone into our country who wants to come, but we can certainly treat them as human beings at the border. So that was our thought, and that's the reason for this dinner. and we're just thrilled with the contributions we're receiving, and we will be sending them on, and I know that the organizations will be absolutely delighted.
The funds raised at the community picnic will be supporting the Episcopal Diocese of West Texas, the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, and Annunciation House in El Paso as they help migrant families at the border. Thanks to Bob Fenstermaker for that story. FCTV wants you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds from the Falmouth Rotary Club's annual Crafts Fair. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.